What is the square root of -1? I, but not me. It's an imaginary number. Imaginary numbers. An epic presentation by Ben, bensites.com.
But what is I?
Let's take a quick step back and try and multiply a few numbers by themselves. We'll try to get a negative result. As you can see, there's no possible way to get a negative from a number squared. This is where I comes in. I squared is -1. This makes what seems to be impossible equations, like -1 equals x squared, possible. First, you can square root both sides. Then, find the square root of x squared, which is x. But we have this weird square root of -1, which seems impossible, but if you remember, I is the square root of -1. So, I being the square root of -1, it has some fairly interesting properties. Like, as you could guess, I squared is -1, which is kind of obvious, but that means it has some pretty cool properties, like I cubed is negative square root of -1. Even cooler is I to the 4th is 1. And it continues on just like that. And it's unlike any other negative number because it swaps between imaginary, negative, and positive when given exponents. You know those really cool music visualizers? Those use imaginary numbers to read waveforms to make amazing visualizations. But they can do so much more, like filtering out whispers from a crowd, combining two AC currents, and even the quadratic equation that you know and love can spit out imaginary numbers. I is an imaginary number. A presentation by Ben.